Dave Ramsey may have an iconic goatee, a sick car collection, and a stellar team of co-hosts, but it turns out he only has 3 types of investments in his 9-figure portfolio. And today I'll be reacting to a clip of him explaining which 3 investments made the cut. I'll also be watching plenty of other entertaining TikToks, Reels, Shorts, and potentially even a Vine or 2 from the often insane world of money content. Let's dive in.
I have 3 investments. That's all I have. My business, paid for real estate with no mortgages, and mutual funds. I don't play single stocks. I don't screw around with gold. I don't mess with Bitcoin. And I don't need your stock tip from your broke golfing buddy with an opinion. You know, you missed out on getting in on this deal, Ramsey. Didn't miss a thing. I'll set my net worth down beside yours while you mouth off.
I gotta know, who was this guy playing golf with Dave that was a buddy of his buddies who's broke? That's the real question. This felt personal to me.
And why is that your business?
I love this concept, though. Dave's saying it doesn't have to be complicated. He's got 3 things going on: his real estate, the business, Ramsey Solutions, and his mutual funds. That's it. That's all he does, and that's all I have, minus the business and minus the insane wealth. But hey, you know, who's comparing? And Dave's always said, invest in things you understand. So if it feels complicated, if it feels risky, don't do it. Stick to the simple, tried and true stuff. And I've always said, if you follow the trends, you'll fall for the traps. And that's a lot of what we're seeing out there on social media, on the internet, in the crypto world, the NFT world, or whatever's left of it, Beanie Babies, you name it. Anything that's trendy is not gonna last you in the long term. And I live by this principle when it comes to building wealth. Wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but whoever gathers little by little will increase it. One of my favorite proverbs, and it really gets to what Dave's saying here. Go for the long term, avoid the flashy, trendy stuff, and you'll be just fine. Next.
How long have you been married for?
34 years.
What are some things you do to be frugal?
We're very frugal. That's why we retired at 55 years old.
Did you guys invest into like 401k, Roth IRA?
Everything.
Max it out. Max out retirement. If the company matches it, you're silly not to.
How many years have you been investing now?
Since 90.
Are you now net worth millionaires?
Yep. And that's the point. You don't have to know about investing. Just invest everything you can into the market. Put it into ETFs, exchange traded funds, because it goes over the whole market. You don't need to know what you're doing. Just do that.
So y'all just invested in boring old index funds and...
You got it.
Hey, you know it. We put our both boys through college and grad school. They have no loans. We paid off our houses, our cars, and retired at 55. Now we travel. So we're just regular people.
What kind of cars have you been driving throughout these years?
Mostly Toyotas, because they last forever.
Most of them have been like 2-year-old cars, not brand new, until recently.
Oh yeah, you've come to that point where
My
now...
first fun car last week.
Ask the old lady what her favorite car is now that she just got.
How have you now treated yourself?
I just got a 2023 Slingshot. I drive it everywhere.
And you still didn't need to get it brand new?
2
No.
years old,
3,000 miles.
Love that video. JC's a friend of mine and love the content he's doing on the street, interviewing quiet millionaires. And this is exactly what we found in our millionaire study. And they were very impressive because they became millionaires even earlier in life and at 55 retired, which means they had a big enough nest egg to cover all of their expenses every single month. And you hear it here. I mean, they're living their best life. They're not riding in private jets, but they're doing pretty much whatever they want within their means. And they're driving nice cars. I gotta check out this 2023 Slingshot. What's this about? Whoa. Okay, was not expecting that from the quote-unquote old lady, which if I ever called my wife that at any age, I'd be sleeping on the couch.
That's probably true.
How expensive is a 2023 Slingshot? That's what I want to know. The world will never know. It's a Polaris. Polaris? Is that how you say it? How much is a 2023 Slingshot? Thank you. Oh, it's not even that much. 20-something grand. Okay, way to go. Dream big. I mean, it looks real flashy. So, let's recap what they said. We invested in index funds that covered the US stock market. We lived frugally, lived on less than we made, bought slightly used cars, put our kids through college debt-free, and here we are, traveling, living our best life. It's that simple. Love it. We're off to a good start here. This is the first time I have not been instantly aggravated by these videos, so thank you, team, for giving me a little boost of positivity.
I just accepted every single DoorDash order for 12 hours straight. Started around 8 a.m. and ended around 9:15 p.m. on a Monday in the Virginia Beach area. I was dashing for about 12 hours and 10 minutes. I was active for 9 hours and 56 minutes. I put 221 miles on my 2009 Subaru Forester. My earnings before taxes, wear and tear, gas, insurance, etc. was $215. My biggest tip was $14.25 from a Food Lion grocery order, and my smallest tip was $3 from a Starbucks order. And I took 30-minute breaks between 10:30 a.m. and 11 a.m. and 3:45 p.m. and 4:15 p.m. I'm tired as hell, and my car needs a tune-up badly now.
I'm intrigued. This guy was hustling with this side hustle doing DoorDash, and instead of being a consumer of DoorDash, paying way too much for food, he was using it to earn money, and he made $215 before expenses, and he was active for about 10 hours. So that's about $21 an hour before expenses. So probably close to $20 an hour after expenses. I mean, you got to fill the gas. There's some extra insurance to worry about. You're going to have to pay taxes on the earnings. But overall, not a bad way to spend a day. To make $200 in a day, I'm going to call that a win. I don't know how sustainable that is, but hey, for a short season, if you're trying to get out of debt, you're trying to build that emergency fund, this is a great side hustle. And if you want a huge list of side hustles that could make sense for you, go to georgekamel.com/side hustle, take the free quiz. I'll help you out there. And Indeed.com says the average DoorDash driver earns $16.51 per hour. So this tracks. This guy was hustling. He was going hard in the paint, as they say. Sports reference, if you guys are unaware. Basketball, to be clear. You can make some decent money. So could you work a retail job and do that? Sure. But the flexibility of these side gigs is what makes them alluring. You can just turn it on and go. All right, next up.
Car dealerships don't actually make their money from selling cars.
So how do they make money? The answer will probably piss you off.
Let's start from the least shady and work our way up. New car sales, dealers make $100, maybe $500 profit per car, sometimes nothing. They tell you they're breaking even just to get you in the door because the real money is made after you say yes.
You know that little room at the end where they make you wait for the paperwork? That's the money printer, also known as the F&I office, financing and insurance. That's where they make $2 to $4K per car, but how? They sneak in a $1,200 extended warranty and another $800 for gap insurance, plus $500 for paint protection and $300 for GPS tracking you never asked for. Then there's service. God, I love a profit. This is their cash cow. Labor parts marked up, costs marked up. They charge you $600 for a brake job and it costs them $150. Need a diagnostic? Just $200 to tell you what's wrong.
Every time you nod, cha-ching.
Woo, Cody is moving fast and taking chances, and I like it. And she is spot on here that car dealerships are really just a giant financing company that uses cars as the literal vehicle to make money. So it could be anything, but they have chosen cars. And she's spot on the fact that the actual money they're making on the car sale from someone like me who's paying cash for a used car, not much, which is why they're not very interested in me and my business. And then what they do is right at the tail end of you getting starry-eyed and sitting there for 3 hours with paperwork and you're just wanting to leave, they'll just have you go, hey, just sign here, sign here, sign here. And you're going, well, what's all these fees? It's the gap insurance. It's the paint, it's the GPS tracking, it's all the extra crap they throw at you last minute, hoping that you won't know, you won't pay attention, you won't put up a big stink. And then on top of that, the financing office, that's where it's happening. They're getting kickbacks for financing deals through their lenders and partners. And then on top of that, there's the service, when you have to come back month after month because that car has issues. So know that going in. We talk a lot about depreciation on this channel, and that's the problem with cars. You are buying a car, and if you do it with debt, you are making payments with interest on something going down in value, which means you could very easily go underwater on this thing, meaning the car is not worth the loan that you have on it. That's a scary place to be. And it's another reason to buy a car in cash, buy used. It is way cheaper, you avoid the loan interest, and you can make sure that you're paying nothing more than the price of the car, plus maybe a tiny doc fee, and then your sales tax. Don't go for all the extras. It's never worth it, especially the extended warranties. And I'm a big fan of Cody. If you want to see the Millionaires in Cars we did on my channel, I'll drop a link in the description below. She was a great guest. Let's keep moving.
You want me to be happy with a measly 12% on average return when I need to come up now. I need to come up now. Look at these returns. If I was dumb and I invested in VTSAX, I get 12%. But look, if 10 years ago, I go all in on the real stuff that makes the world turn. All I do is I hold FANG plus NVIDIA, Meta, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, Google, and NVIDIA. I would have gone up 713%, 873%, 633%. 1,268%. JL, had I put my $3,000 into NVIDIA, I would have gone up 26,209% in 10 years. So you're 12%. JL?
That's amazing. And if you had wings, you could fly. So what crystal ball did you have 10 years ago that told you that?
I just...
I don't have one? Well, yeah, obviously, if you knew that was going to happen, if I knew that Bitcoin was going to go from a penny a coin to $100,000, I would have sold everything and gone into Bitcoin. The thing is, you don't know that's going to happen. And there's a lot of stocks that looked every bit as promising as those that you put up 10 years ago that flamed out and went to nothing. You would have wound up broke. You don't know which horse is going to win. But I do know that VTSAX will reliably make me wealthy. And 12% a year compounded over time, 8% a year. Let's be much more conservative. Compounded over time is an extraordinarily powerful thing.
I love it. Okay, so that is comedian Hassan Minhaj interviewing personal finance author J.L. Collins. I watched this whole interview because this is like my two worlds colliding. I like both of these guys. And it was very clear Hassan was being sarcastic. He was kind of playing the devil's advocate, poking the bear, going, why wouldn't I just invest in these single stocks that have done 10, 20, 100x what the overall index has done tracking the US stock market? And JL has like the sweet old man calm tortoise wisdom in face of the hair, Hassan. And what he's talking about there is VTSAX. It's the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund. And that essentially is just saying, hey, you're going to own a little bit of the entire stock market versus going all in on Facebook or Amazon or Alphabet, whatever, name your stock. And so this is a great principle here, in that if we had hindsight and a crystal ball, sure, I'd want to go back in time and pick the winners. But it's why I love mutual funds and index funds. Instead of having to bet on a single horse to win, I can just bet on the entire racetrack. And that way, no matter what happens, I'm going to win. Now, will I win as big? No, but it also means I'm not going to lose. So I love this conversation, like the principle behind it, and a very humorous take here from Hassan. Something else that makes the list of good investments? Signing up for Delete Me, a sponsor of today's video. Look, if you're chronically online like me, I'm online right now, then it probably means your personal info is floating around the internet. And if a sketchy data broker site decides to sell it to someone who doesn't have the best of intentions, it could be bad news. And that's why I love Delete Me. They comb through hundreds of these broker sites to remove your personal data and clean up your digital footprint. And every few months, they'll send you a custom report showing you what they've done and how much time they've saved you. And right now, you can get 20% off their annual plans by going to joindeleteme.com/George or use the link in the description below. All right, we've had some winners so far. I am loving this whole thing. There's not been one frustrating, anger-inducing video. Let's see if that changes.
I still do not have a credit card. I have no credit score.
I have questions.
It's not an aversion to modern life.
Okay.
It's an aversion to being part of systems that I don't consent to being a part of.
Wow.
So I'm like, why am I being forced to have a credit score? According to who?
Is your mind blown right now? What that?
His answer about the credit score is not a game he consented to. I just really enjoy. I really liked.
I feel like you're working on a bit, and I like what's happening now.
I was more like, can I apply this to my own life? And then immediately no.
I need a credit card.
Because how do you buy the computer to email?
By credit card, I mean literal credit card, but I do have debit. I do have money in a bank.
Okay.
Yeah.
My guy. Okay, this was from a roundtable conversation with a bunch of comedians and actors, and this is Julio Torres speaking here, and even John Mulaney, another comedian, taken aback by this idea that you could live without a credit score, live without a credit card. And these are celebrities who have so much money, it's insane. And even they're like, wait, how would you do something without credit? These people don't need to touch debt. And yet they've been convinced by a broken system and by one that Julio did not consent to, that there's no other way to live. You gotta have a credit score, you gotta have a credit card. So props to Julio for flying in the face of culture. People who are saying you gotta live this way, there's no other way. Julio swimming upstream with people like me who are just rocking the debit card, living the debt-free life, no credit score, no stress. I gotta look into Julio though. Julio! Would you be on my show? Come on this YouTube channel, Millionaires in Cars Getting Coffee with Julio Torres, living our best debt-free life, no credit score. What do you say? Reach out to my people? Your people talk to my people? Just send me a DM, it's probably easier.
Just
Do it! All right, as per usual, my producer Alex has given me a random video, which he says will convince me to become an Android user. I will be shell-shocked if a single video could convince me of that. Let's find out if it's enough to switch me to the dark side.
Another Android W. Guilty. You guys are going to lap that overpriced piece of garbage up, even though it's just Android features recycled 2 years later. Can your phone fold up 7 times yet? No, didn't think so. Oh, but at least you can take photos of the moon now. We've been doing that. Next thing I know, you're going to take our styluses too.
Oh gosh, I love this. Thank you, Italian Bach, for this wonderful video, which I assume is parody. I think he's filming this on an iPhone, based on the fact that it doesn't look like garbage. I love the comment section already. PTSD from that ringtone. Reverb on that notification sound is nasty work. I like my money green, not my text. Oh! Roasted! That's true. Apple did us no favors by making Android text the brightest garbage green you could ever imagine. So I gotta say, pretty petty and awesome of Apple to do that. And I have nothing against Android phones. It's the people that use them that bother me because of how aggressive they are with their feet. They're like, well, can your phone project onto a wall? No, can your phone do a triple backflip? Mine just like, dude, I can do origami with mine. I don't care. I don't want my phone to do origami, okay? It's not that I'm better than you. It's that you are insufferable. And I say that with love to all Android users. And to the people who say, well, it's just cheaper. Just get a used iPhone. They're not that expensive. You can jump on to pretty much any website and get a used iPhone. Go to Facebook Marketplace. I don't know. But don't tell me there's no other way to live. I will not consent to an Android device, but I do like this guy's content. I hope he's got more where that came from. Android users trying not to say they use an Android challenge impossible. This video so far, too high quality to have been taken on an Android. Yes! Your boy JC said it. I think we can all agree we had some fun for the whole family in today's episode. It was the least anger-inducing react video you could hope for. And if you want more where that came from, I've got it for you. Click here to watch me react to a guy who somehow convinced himself that you shouldn't pay debt collectors when they're knocking down your door. You can click here or use the link in the description. That's it for today. Be sure to hit like on the video, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.